Oh boy. Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. Oh, let's cry. Let's cry for the LeBron era because they have more plumbers playing in his era. Oh. You guys gotta stop. When I see stuff like this, you're exposing yourself. You're exposing yourself. What this means is, no way in hell is 3/4 of these international players making the NBA in 1992. Not even Joker. I'm being dead ass serious. If Joker would ever to make a roster, he would be a bench player. This guy plays zero defense, never made a defensive team, didn't show up for Serbia. I don't care what Uncut Hoop said about Joel Embiid. Joker did not show up for Serbia. He was not playing Joker basketball. He looked tired. He wasn't running the offense at the top of the key, getting all these assists, getting all these rebounds. He was overwhelmed. Schroeder ain't making no damn NBA roster back in the 90s. Okay? You guys got to stop. This is the same Schroeder that dominated your FIBA team last year with the likes of the next Michael Jordan, Anthony Edwards. Looks like this guy's going to be a front runner, right? And on this team, a bench player. How's you explain to me how your next Michael Jordan is a damn bench player? Oh my God. This team is just so good that Anthony Edwards is a bench player to a 40-year-old guy who has no basketball skills besides charging the lane with elbows and straight arms and doing dunks and layups. Really? Your best player, Durant, is a one-way player. He can only shoot. 7 foot, can't get you 10 rebounds a game, can't lock nobody down on defense. Are you serious? This is the when you see stuff like this for the LeBron era guys, and I hate to say LeBron era guy because this ain't even LeBron's era. His era was 210. No way. And he got curb stomped, right? No way is Michael Jordan going to be up in the Olympics at 40 years old out there trying to show people up and front run with the up and coming talent. Or hell, most of the old talent. You just won't see it. Karl Malone out there at 40, John Stockton out there at 40, David Robinson out there at 40, all these guys from the 92 Dream Team. It's not going to happen. We've already showed up and showed out. It was over. They caught up to our college team, and we came in there and curb stomped them. Don't you never. And then our second Dream Team came in there and curb stomped them. And then we kept curb stomping them. Don't you never. And then the LeBron era guys came in there. Oh, they caught up to us, a bunch of unathletic plumbers. Remember this in 2004? Ginobili and his Argentinians caught up to us. Really? Could you imagine? Ginobili and all these international unathletic plumbers. Now, if you told me they got whooped by some brothers from Angola or something like that, or Jamaica or something like that, but you're telling me some unathletic Argentinians, not one brother on those teams whooped you? The king? The king. The dude that's coming into the league saying he's the king took your gold? I don't even think the king even started. That's how bad he was in practice. The king of what? Playing high school players? You can't be serious. This is the LeBron era. You got a guy in there. Practice. Y'all talking about practice? Allen Iverson, and you get schooled by some Argentina plumbers. You can't come back from this. What are you going to say, that the Dream Team will lose to Argentina plumbers? This is what they would say. They're so idiotic. They think if they're non-fundamental, non-skilled guys can't do it, nobody can. They can't make up their mind. Is it athleticism? What is it? Because they're quick to talk about this era wasn't athletic. And then they go and they play some plumbers internationally and get curb stomped by some dudes who ain't even athletic. Which one is it? Shit, the 90s was the most athletic era I've ever seen. No doubt about it. Right? And it proves it with the big man. The centers, they were the most athletic era of all time. They just were. That's why a lot of those guys from the 80s, they can continue to come in and dominate. Those guys were just too athletic. They've never seen no center era like that. These guys were just getting more and more athletic. So for the LeBron era, or they continue to make this about his era, LeBron's entire career has been about failing and making up excuses. This is what children do when they get caught doing something wrong. They make up excuses. Not when you're a grown-ass man. Not when you take accountability for your actions. You don't make excuses. Not when you're supposed to be the best. You don't make excuses. But they've turned the NBA into a bunch of babies wearing diapers, sucking on pacifiers. This is the new media. I couldn't even imagine. You making excuses back in the 90s? You got all these international plumbers. Big deal. You're the one that let them in the NBA. They couldn't make these rosters back in the 90s. Too tough. Not the international plumbers couldn't. Not like that. You had some great international brothers up in there, like Hakeem, Ewing, these type of guys who were great athletes. But we're talking about plumbers? No, and we ain't getting beat by no plumbers. This is looking bad on you. You can put up as many graphics as you want. Oh man, it's 69 international players playing in this game. Big deal. You should take it and say, look, we're about to curb stomp these dudes. These are excuses. You won't put up the faces of these international players who are on NBA rosters because 3/4 of them are trash. And then the rest of them play in a no-touch era. Big deal. Big deal. Big deal. Now the 92 Dream Team, if they played in a no-touch era. Imagine this. They told the 90s guys, you're now playing in a no-touch era. What? There would be 0 international plumbers in the damn league at all now. It would just be out of control. They just wouldn't make it now. Because the guys will be even better. Look how they're talking. They double talk and, contradict themselves. They say this era is better. Okay. This era is better. Then you should be way better than your international competition, right? You should go out there and be like, well, damn, we're better than the 90s. So we're going to go out there and try to curb stomp these guys worse than the guys in the 90s curb stomp their guys. But you can't do that, right? Why? Because the NBA has made you lazy. Lazy. Has made stars and NBA players out of players who wouldn't be in the NBA in the 90s. Right? by taking out defense. And why they take out defense? Because, wow, their king could not make the playoffs his first 2 seasons, right? Even with the all-star teammate. Whoa, you better go back and look at that East, right? In the early 2000s, just loaded. Just Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, Dr. J, Moses Malone, Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish. Man, that early 2000s that LeBron played in from, 2003 to 2007 was just loaded. They was just running the NBA, right? And this guy still couldn't make the playoffs. So they had to change the defensive rules so this guy could now become a king. The king of bull charging the lane now could make the playoffs. And now, what you did, you not only made these NBA players lazy as can be, right? Because you changed the defensive rules. Now, when you go internationally, you're not used to playing no defense either. So now, you go play internationally and you get whooped again in 2007 by these plumbers from Greece, right? And you have no excuse because you're coming off a season where you average 30 points per game. Wade just won the championship. Bosch is, in his prime. All these guys have no excuse. They really have no excuse. The only excuse you can really give them is that the NBA cut out defense. So now they don't have that type of work ethic no more to play defense. A lot of them, like LeBron, doesn't have to develop his game, right, as a shooter because he can just bull charge the hole. So these are the consequences that these guys had to deal with all their career when they play international plumbers. Their games aren't refined like the 90s. These guys' games didn't get refined from playing international plumbers, right? Their games got refined from playing each other in the league. You get it? You get it? They didn't need international plumbers to make their game great. They didn't need that. It was already refined because these are the best players of all time. LeBron James era is a sham. You guys are sitting there making excuses. Sitting there making excuses instead of taking the challenge, right? This is his entire career. Instead of taking a challenge, he's going to make excuses. Instead of making his teammates better, he's going to make excuses. No way the 90s players would ever let you put out something like this. Oh, there's 69 player, NBA player, international players. This will be an embarrassment. And if they found out that somebody put it out, I think that would be their ass. You don't make excuses like this. This is for babies. What was your excuse when you got beat by these grease plumbers? No NBA players, and you got beat by these grease plumbers. And let me tell you this. I'm going to tell you this one more time and tell you how dumb this really sounds. It sounds pathetic. Okay? On these international rosters, they have one international plumber. No, let me just say this. I ain't gonna disrespect them, but man, these guys get beat by international plumbers throughout the years. It's just, and you see that these teams have not one melanated person on their team. It's just no athletic people on their team, and they get beat by these guys. Why? It shows the lack of defense that these guys have. So again, let me say this one more time for the idiots. This is how it works. Yes, today, because of the LeBron era, you have international superstars on other teams, right? So in international play, you will have one international superstar, or you might have one international superstar in a role player, or you might just have an international player, role star, international player, right? Or you might have a team full of NBA nobodies on the roster who are role player NBA players. It means nothing. Let's go over it again. Because these people don't understand the logic in which they're talking. On an international team now, you might have one superstar and the rest of a whole bunch of international plumbers. Another team, you might have an international superstar with an NBA role player. On another team, you might have just a whole bunch of NBA role players, right? When the hell have you heard about Schroeder doing anything in the NBA? What all-star team did this guy make? And he dominated our FIBA team last year with the likes of Paolo Banchero, Anthony Edwards, Halliburton, Jalen Brunson, and the rest of these guys with his German plumbers. Folks, I hate to say it, but the NBA is kind of it ain't looking right. When these guys go into international play, there's no excuse for that. So, anyways, when we look at the NBA or the United States, we have up to 8 superstars. What's the excuse? You should never put out nothing showing how many international plumbers are out there. Well, NBA international plumbers. You're making yourself look like an idiot. You're making yourself look like an idiot. Especially when you're sitting there and you're saying that this era guys are better than the 90s. Which one is it? So you should be way better than this international competition. Folks, what I explained earlier, it's not because the international competition has gotten better. It's because the defense for the United States has gotten worse. Imagine LeBron as your leader versus Michael Jordan. Just the pedigree alone changes the whole dynamic. And this is why he had to go dismantle that FIBA team, because he needs to front run with Curry, Kevin Durant, and the rest of these guys. Like I said before in another video, I just can't even imagine Michael Jordan playing in a damn Olympics with some players that took 3 damn championships from him. I just couldn't even imagine. I can't even imagine Jordan at 40 years old saying, look, I'm going to the Olympic team. I just couldn't imagine it. What would he, if he stayed in 2004, or I'm going to just stay one more season? What? What is going on here? What is going on here? Is Mike doing dunks and layups? And they're in all? No, Mike will be out there trying to shoot the lights out. But guess what? Mike would never do nothing like that. Mike's career was already signed, sealed, and delivered. After 13 years in Chicago, never went back and played against international plumbers because they made their point. I'm not wishing the United States lose, but give me a break, man. Give me a break. You need all this from the media, all these lies, all this and that, just to feel good about beating international plum. Look at the team that look at the team that what's this guy's name? That Joker had. Come on, man. You think the world caught up to us? No. Play your game and blow these guys out. If you put the best on the floor, that's what you're supposed to do. There's no excuses. When Kevin Durant played the last time in the international games, come on, man. He had NBA players on the roster and beat these international plumbers. Now, why did they struggle to beat them? Because the lack of defense that's in this era. We don't play defense, right? And then when defense is put on us, it's something that we ain't used to. We're used to being in the NBA, right? Where there's no defense. We're about making each other look better as players. The players are used to making each other look better as players in the regular season. Why? So they can get bigger contracts. They can get all these endorsements. So the challenge isn't there. In the 90s, that was the challenge. That's how you got bigger contracts and better endorsements, by playing defense. These guys took the challenge against each other to be the best. These guys don't do that. They want to make each other look good. Oh, go ahead and do that layup. Oh, go ahead and shoot that. Go ahead. Again, the Dream Team didn't need the challenge of international plumbers to become good. The challenge was there. They wanted to be the best amongst each other for years. They wanted to outdo each other decade by decade. Well, I'm going to be better than Will. I'm going to be better than Kareem. I'm going to be better than Moses. I'm going to be better than Magic. I'm going to be better than Bird. That's the challenge these guys took. That's the challenge. What are we talking about? We don't need no damn challenge from no international plumbers. They're not the best. They're not the NBA. When they're just pouring into our league, what does that mean? We have no longer taken a challenge from each other, right? And this is why we go build super teams, because we don't want to compete no more against each other. And now we make up excuses. And that's the saddest thing. Like I said, when they're showing how many international plumbers are in the league, that's on you. It makes you look bad. The fact is, we've always, in the 90s, they had international players. But when you have worthless dudes coming into the NBA that don't even deserve a roster spot, that would never make it in the 90s, that would never be a superstar in the 90s, Joker, I don't care what Uncut Hoop say or Shap Attack, this guy is not no star in the 90s. This is a hype up. Why? Because they want to sell these players internationally, and they want to sell the NBA internationally. Have no problem with him being a star in this era. Fine. Not in the 90s. This guy didn't make one. What superstar center in the 90s you know that ain't even making a defensive team? And you're trying to tell me, don't tell me, oh, well, he got more points and more assists than this guy like Morning. Give me a break. These guys didn't play in a no-touch era. These guys didn't play with nobody under the damn basket. Joker ain't playing in the 90s. He, at best, he might come off the damn bench in garbage time. You're a damn center and you can't even get me a block a game? How worthless is that? And you guys are giving this guy the MVP? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't care what nobody says. I've seen it with my own eyes. This guy will get dominated. Imagine Shaq just dunking all over this guy, and they throwing this guy's shot all over the place. He would have to body up on every damn possession. Don't tell me about he outplayed Joel. Joel Embiid is soft as damn cookies coming out of the damn oven. Get out of here. Joel Embiid is soft. He a big, worthless dude. He didn't want to compete. That's why he went to the United States and played with them. At least you can give Joker that. He didn't try to run to the damn United States team, right? Tell me what you think.